All right, so let's see if I can do this right. I mean, is it probable? Wait, why is my other camera not here? Ooh, did not work. Let's try it again. This a USB hub can be a little temperamental. Let me unplug the power again. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, there's our power, which is great. Nice. Charging, which means, okay, the webcam's not working, so we might just do a single cam, and I'll just have to rotate the laptop, which is fine. Let's do single cam, and let's switch out our power source here. Let's get our USB hub. My laptop is only USB-C, and it can be difficult sometimes. All right, so I'm inside right now. It's a little dark because it's really nice and warm out. But what I have done is I've parboiled some potatoes. Move this down a little bit. Okay, let's take a step outside to our porch. I'll put my laptop here, and I'm gonna step outside. Once I get some oil. Hello! Hello, and welcome to my porch. It's screened in, and this is my setup. So I have some chicken here that I'm gonna grill, but I need to plug in my extension cord, which is underneath here, because I don't come out here that much. And it's an outdoor outlet, so I'm not gonna be plugging this in and leaving my extension cord plugged in for a long time. So here we go. Plugging in our fryer. This is for my grill. This is for the grill. Actually, I'm going to do this down here. So I have my fryer right here. So we can pull it. Oh, and there that goes. I can pull up my extension cord because the cord they give you for the fryer is really, really short. I'm a little disappointed because it's like, well, I have some clarified, somewhat clarified oil from last time, so I'm going to pour this in first. And this was from when I made Japanese fried chicken. And I have another jug of avocado oil. So I'm going to fill this up to max. The max line somewhere. There it is. So I've used quite a bit of oil already. So I'm going to stick this in here because I have access to. And I'm going to close this lid. Oil's going to heat up. What I've done so far is I've made like a batter. It's a really, really loose batter, and I think I've added too much water. But basically, it's a half a cup of cornmeal, half a cup of spelt flour, some water, maybe like 3/4 cup of water, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to dunk some mushrooms in here right now. Here are our washed oyster mushrooms. So I'm going to just dunk a couple in there. And I should grab actually another pair of chopsticks because I'm going to need to... Oh, hi, buddy. I know, you can't come out. I have a feeling my cat's going to jump out through the window and knock over my laptop because that's just the a-hole that he is. Right, buddy? Are you an a-hole sometimes? Mm-hmm. You come out. I might need to think of another solution on how to set up the stream. All right, so I have some mushrooms sitting in the batter right now, and I'm just I'm waiting for the temperature to come up. That's my oven inside. So that's my wet batter. My dry batter is right here, and it's all cornmeal. This is a 1.5 cups of cornmeal, and I've also added about a tablespoon of Old Bay seasoning because I want it to have some seasoning. So let's set up wet, dry, in. My mushrooms here. I have my drying rack with some paper towels. I have my fry scooper, which I used for hard-boiled eggs. That's here. And my tongs are actually going to be for the grill, which I'm going to light. The cat's staring at me. It's like, hey, let me help out downstairs. All right, grill's lit, and I have to wait for a little while because it has to come up to temperature. Hey, Lepka. So I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday because I realized when I grill, I smell, and this shirt's so dirty anyways that I'm just gonna be like, F it. So we're heating our oil up. I have a couple of mushrooms in our batter. And I'm just waiting for our oil to come up to temperature. Now let me go inside, and while everything's trying to get to temperature, I'm going to take care of the potatoes and try and not get my cat up. No, you don't. Oh my gosh, you're boring. You're going to go to bedroom. All right, I locked them into the bedroom. So let's turn the laptop around and let's come back into the kitchen. All right, so back in the kitchen, I've parboiled some potatoes. And after parboiling the potatoes for about 10 minutes, not even, I basically put the potatoes in water and set my stove on high and set a timer for 15 minutes. And once the 15 minutes were up, I took them off. I let them air dry a little bit. And I've dusted these. I've put in some cornmeal and some spelt flour. This is ready. I've just lightly tossed it. Okay. Now, the oven's been preheating. It's at 425, which I'm not sure what it is in metric, but woo, it's hot. So basically, our duck fat has been heating. All right, it's right here. It's in this hot glass pan. It had to be hot because as soon as we put our potatoes in, it's going to start to sizzle. Yeah, it's over 200 C. So let's put them in. Oh yeah, here's the sizzle. Now, I'm going to use a slotted spoon now. and dump these in because I don't want like all the wheat or the cornmeal to go in here, but really I just want the potatoes, right? And this is gonna bake in the oven for about 20 minutes. And that will give us time, by then, hopefully, our oil in the fryer should be ready. I want a nice single layer, by the way. I don't want to overcrowd. I don't want to like completely fill this and overfill this, right? So there might be some potatoes that might not make it, and they might just be fried in the fryer. Okay, there's that nice sizzle. I think I can fit one more in here. Perfect. The rest of these have to go fry outside. So I have my duck fat in here, just a slight layer, and the potatoes, and they're gonna bake for 25 minutes. All right, so I'll be able to hear that. Let's head back outside. Nice, right? Nice little setup. I'm gonna bring my pot here with potatoes. It's like, I can smell the air. It's like moldy because it's been, where's the gas? Where's the gas from the propane? Oh man. All right, so let's adjust this here so we can actually see. Let me turn up my brightness so I can see. All right, so our oil's not yet heated, but it's getting hot. I can feel it. So I'm gonna take our first mushroom, which is actually, let's make a better one because that one's like really big. Come on. Our first mushroom. It's wet. I'm gonna dunk it in to our cornmeal. I'll lightly toss this. I mean, I'm not looking for like this huge, overly battered mushroom, right? Okay, it's green. So this should take 3 minutes. So let's get a timer ready. It shouldn't even take 3 minutes, right? It should be like, just like maybe like a couple seconds. So that's one mushroom. Let's grab another mushroom. Grab the big fatty here. Let's toss that around. I left the first mushroom in here so that when I'm ready, I can just dunk that in. All right, that's 2. One more, maybe one more. We have one on one. Winner, winner. Winner, winner, mushroom dinner. So I've been wanting to make this for a while. And I think I talked about it like a couple of streams ago. I finally have the time, and the family's gone because kiddo has swimming, so. All right. First things first, let's dunk it in. Our oil's nice and hot. 3 minutes. Let me shake off excess. Woo! Listen to that sizzle. 3 minutes. All right. I'm starting with the biggest first because the biggest will always take longest to cook, right? 2, 3. Grab our other big mushroom in here. Toss that around. I know I had another one in here somewhere. Maybe it was just the stem. Oh, I can't find it now. Anyways, let's add a couple more mushrooms. And it's going to be rinse and repeat. Basically, we're going to coat these mushrooms quickly in our wet batter. I have one in my dry. And the grill's going to take a while because I haven't used the grill in like months. So it's going to take a while for it to warm up. And once it warms up, I still need to clean it. So I'm actually going to do this with my hands. go. Take another one of these mushrooms and take it out. Give it a nice liberal dunk. Okay. Yeah, I had to angle it a little bit more down. So in the summertime, it's interesting because we like to eat out here because right now the laptop is sitting on the windowsill that goes right directly into the kitchen, and so I could be cooking inside and outside prepping, and then I'll be like order up, and I put the plate on the sill, and my wife will grab it and bring it to the table. So it's super easy, super chill. I can only fit 4 mushrooms at a time. And I still have a minute left, so I got 1 mushroom ready for the next batch. Let's get the next set of mushrooms ready. Ooh, I'm spilling everywhere. Woo, that's not good. I'm usually never this messy. Two mushrooms ready. Look at our third. Oh, here's the other one. That's not going to take long to cook, though. Unfortunately, it's like super tiny and really thin. So let's coat these. I know I have a small container. I didn't want to use a lot of cornmeal. I just wanted like a dusting. And that's why the batter is so loose. Alright, this is our next step, right here. Since we have 9 seconds, let's take out the small one. Look at that. I don't know if I can hold it up, but I'll put it on the paper towel for now. I'll start with the smallest. I mean, these are mushrooms, right? So they don't need a long time to cook. All right, start with the biggest. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and this is our tiny, tiny, tiny one. 4. I'm gonna restart. So let me grab the big one, and I'll show you. It's our mush. This is our mushroom. And I wanted, I really wanted chipotle mayo, but I'm not going to. I actually don't have the time to make a chipotle mayo right now. So that's weird. I heard some kind of noise. Okay, let's get rid of this chopstick because I really don't need that. Right into our sink. Again, that's why I like cooking on this patio. Like I love this patio because we can sit out here, for 3 seasons. We even camped out here, like in the summertime. So I am mosquito prone. I get bitten a lot, and then when I get bit, they swell pretty bad. So I typically have like a worse reaction than my wife does or my daughter. My daughter gets it pretty bad, actually. Let's grab our next batch of mushrooms. And one thing I haven't done either since they've come out is sea salt them. I did put a little bit of sea salt in both the wet batter and the dry batter. So I'm hoping that should be enough. If it's not enough, then it should be as easy as just, getting a sauce. I wouldn't use ketchup, but I can make like a habanero mayo. I'm gonna need some more cornmeal, so when the next batch goes in, I'll get the cornmeal. Hey, bruh. Did you see that post I linked in Discord? Somebody, I don't know what town it was in the Netherlands, but they painted the entire train silver, so it's like reflective. It's crazy. Hooligans. And like the top comment was, if you painted the train in the whole night, like, is that your job? All right, so 35 seconds left. I'm taking this tiny, tiny, tiny one out. All right, what else do I have? 12 seconds. Mushrooms are coming out. These are a little bit thinner than our last batch. And then we're going to restart. Shake off the excess cornmeal. Shake off the excess cornmeal. These are much bigger. Uh-oh. So these are going to go in full 3. Let me go inside and get some more cornmeal. I have 15 minutes left on my potatoes. So once the 15 minutes, wow, it is windy. Once the 15 minutes is up on my potatoes, I actually need to rotate them, or 25 minutes, I need to rotate them, and cook them for another 15, sorry, 25, then 15. All right, so let's grab some more mushrooms. I think I've taken all the big, oh, wow. All right, look at the size of this mushroom. They didn't do the whole train? Okay. So this mushroom's huge. Wet batter, dry batter. This guy needs a flip in the wet batter, jeez. They're both a little small. I mean, the rest of the pieces that I have are pretty small. So I'm not. Okay, that's a nice dusting. Let's grab our big boy here. This is going to take the full 3 minutes to cook. Wow, this one needs a lot. It's falling apart too. Very delicate. Let me just toss this in here because okay. That's all I can fit in there for now. Let's grab the rest of my mushrooms. So I don't have a lot left. And I'll just toss them in our batter. I'll mix them around a little bit. Okay, there. Our battered mushrooms, or wet battered mushrooms, I should say. Our colander goes back into the sink. Give my hands a quick rinse. I have a paper towel holder right here too. Look how convenient. 14 seconds. All right, the small guys can come out. Tiny, tiny, tiny little ones. This guy's coming out. I probably should have used my basket, but that's big. I'm gonna flip that guy. I'm gonna let it. All right. This guy down here. This big guy's gonna take up like the whole fryer. I'm only doing 2. I can only do 2 actually because there's no room. All right, the small guys. I could probably fit more than 4 on here into the fryer. That's one. Get rid of that. So what I can do too, which I'll probably do in just a minute when I add the small batches, when I add the small mushrooms in, I am going to add my other potatoes because I didn't put in duck fat because they can fry in here for a little while. All right, should we do a taste test? Let's do a taste test. So I think they've cooled off by now. So yesterday I didn't end up eating lunch. I worked straight through, and I worked straight through till dinner. Let's grab one of the first ones. All right, one for you too. Seasoned enough. It actually doesn't need salt. And it's perfect. Like, it's crispy. You get the grittiness of the cornmeal. Not about the rest, but that's not happening right now. So I got a minute left on the rest of these guys. I'm surprised how much cornmeal I've actually used up in battering these. I thought like a cup and a half would be more than enough. It looks like I need like, maybe because I have 2 packages of oyster mushrooms. And I have a lot of mushrooms. Might be why it's taking so long. All right, one of these guys, the big guy, needs to flip. Because it's bigger than our max oil level. And yes, I am frying right now with the lid open. I can always close this and it can cook faster. I want to keep an eye on it. So when the next batch goes in, I'll have more in there so the temperature of the oil will drop and it will still need the full 3 minutes. When it goes in, I'm going to go down and clean my grill. Oops. All right. Let's take our small one out. This is our big boy. I hope that's cooked enough. It should be. All right, so I have that ready. So what I'm gonna do is, I have my lightly dusted potatoes. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, that's it. I can use the rest of this actually for cornmeal. And then I'm gonna add my mushrooms. So I have room for 1, 2, 3. That will take the whole 3 minutes. Let me just dump this in here. Start. I can't let my cornmeal go to waste since they were just sitting in potatoes. All right, this pot in our sink. Let me go down and clean my grill. So I got this new brush from Kickstarter. It's a Kevlar brush. Instead of using a wire brush to clean your grill grates, just to get you go really hot, and I'm gonna dunk this in water and give it a scrub. So. Ah! Holy crap! Okay. Wow. That was not what I wanted to do. Okay. Whew. So I don't know if you just heard, but my grill kind of exploded on me. So I was like, is it going? And I hit the prime button again, the whole thing exploded. It actually just singed the hair off my arm. I'm not going to be grilling anytime soon. I might need to replace that propane tank. RIP. Yeah, like, so basically the lid just kind of like lifted up and the fire just came right at me. And I'm like, yeah, the hair in my arm is gone. I mean, you can see like the burnt hair on my arm. Yeah, yeah. So let's just focus on this right now, right? How am I doing on time in there? I got 6 minutes left in my oven. Whew. Let's forget that. I mean, that was a loud. No, I didn't leave it open. I did leave the valve open. Yes. I didn't shut off the valve to the tank, so it's probably why. But yeah, that was a loud audible and I don't think anyone would have expected a propane tank to explode like that. I mean, yeah. Self-damage on Twitch is not allowed. Well, it wasn't intentional, I can tell you that. And good thing there is no Twitch staff here, so they don't know. Oh, mushrooms are done. That's great. All right, I got the next batch battered up. So let's take our mushrooms out first, and we can check our potatoes. They are crispy. They're lightly battered. I think they're going to sit in for another 6 more minutes. So let's add, 3 more minutes, I'm sorry. So let's add our mushrooms. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's add. Yeah. Woo! So in the summertime, I'll be honest with you, Lefka. So in the summertime, I don't close my propane tank. And it's because I typically grill every week, once a week, or once every other week, so it gets used. But probably because I haven't used it in two months. It's probably why. Not gonna lie, it scared the shit out of me. So I have these tiny little pieces of mushrooms, which I should probably just throw away, but I'm just gonna batter them up. And as a little bonus, when I was preparing the chicken today, let me drain some of the chicken. When I was preparing chicken today for the grill, some tiny little pieces fell out. This will be cooked at the end. So pretty much, well, so this is the mushrooms are a vegan dish, right? The chicken obviously not, but let's take a look at our potatoes. So these were, since these were parboiled, they should be soft in the middle. You can see they're turning nice and crispy brown. I think the full 6 minutes is going to be great. Oh, I'm going to change out that propane tank. Yep, well, I'm going to be closing my tank from now on, Levka. Jeez. I didn't now, but I mean, like, I knew, the other thing is, I knew my tank was almost empty. And so I'll probably just leave it open and let it like vent out into the backyard. And then I have a brand new tank that I'll put in there and then I'll have to use it. But yeah, wow. I was not ready for that. We've got some small mushrooms in here, so I'm gonna start to take the small ones out. Like this one was nice and flat. This is done. This one's a little over battered, to be honest with you. Okay, let's take out these potatoes. I know, I know, I know, I know. I made my alarm as annoying as possible so that I would shut it off as soon as it went off. But ironically enough, Kiddo loves this song and she thinks it's funny and she starts singing to it. Ow! Shit, I dropped that one by accident. Alright. This was a mushroom. Just trying to figure out what's a mushroom and what's not here. Here we go. Let's restart that. Let's grab our tiny little chicken pieces. We'll do those next. And again, these should actually take a little bit longer since it is meat. Even though it's going to be deep fried from all sides, I would say 5 minutes at most. And even then, I think that might be overkill. I'm just lucky the explosion happened outside and not inside. Oh, I think that's my timer inside. Speaking of inside. Oh, I need to wait. I need to watch this. Hold on.
Soak this in water and give it a rub.
So you can actually hear the explosion.
Soak this in water and give it a rub.
You could actually hear the explosion. Wow. Wow. That's terrible. All right. When these come out, when this batch comes out, I'm going to put the chicken in. And since the chicken needs to go in for a little bit longer, I will go inside and take care of my potatoes. So the rest of this, it's way too small to do anything with it, mushroom or chicken. So I'm actually just going to toss it. So I can actually put this out in my sink. And some of these are small pieces. I'm just going to yank them out now already. They're like little pieces of the mushroom head. So it really shouldn't. I mean, it's been 2 minutes, and 2 minutes for a piece this big should be done. And it's just a mushroom, right? Like you really don't need to cook or fry a mushroom that long. I think 3 minutes was great for the big ones. These tiny ones, not so much. And these 2 pieces can sit a little bit longer. We'll set my timer for 5 minutes. One. All right, the 2. Oh, I should have. Okay, I probably should have kept my chopsticks. Chicken. These are chicken. Cornmeal battered chicken. I'm gonna put the big pieces in first. Okay. Ow. All right, let's start that. And let me switch around and go inside. Whew. Hands. We're back inside. Whew. Yeah, that's pretty loud. All right, let's turn on some lights here. Let's take my whew. It's hot. Smell that. Flip each one of these because I can see that they're turning golden. So I'm only going to flip about 2 times. So this one and one more. My mistake was letting them dry too much. Because if they dry too much, then the cornmeal isn't going to stick to the potato. So that was my number one mistake here on my potatoes. But I guarantee you they'll have a slight crisp to them, and they will be very tasty, because it is duck fat, right? All right, let's separate the ones that I flipped already. The nice thing about it is that the potatoes are shrinking. So man, I'm still like not over the fact that that thing exploded on me. So this is not the first time I've had a grill explode on me. The first time my in-laws, when we first bought this house, they gave us their little portable grill. And this thing was tiny. And I had it out on the deck, like to the stairs part from where I was cooking the mushrooms. So it was out there, and all of a sudden the hose catches on fire and it's creeping towards the propane tank. So I had to run outside to the backyard. It's the fastest I probably ever ran in my life. Run outside to the backyard and shut off the propane tank and let the fire subside. And I just ran as far away as possible, because if that tank ever exploded, I would have been SOL. Oh yeah, I'll try, Eva. Thank you. Bon appetit. Rotate this back outside. Here's the thing. I love potatoes with vodka. Let's try one of these fried potatoes. All right. So, like, if we break it open, it's nice and soft on the inside. They're cooked. They need salt, but they're also not as crispy as I thought on the outside. I'm not complaining though. This is really darn good. So this is our last batch. Okay. Well, I can tell you that I'll be closing them from now on after this. The problem with being lunchtime here, because I know it's dinner time where you guys are right now, is that now I'm hungry and I'm eating this. Let's open it up. Oh, wow. Okay. These are really golden brown. I'm not sure. Because it is chicken, I need to make sure that they are cooked. I think a piece like this would be done fine, but I'm gonna wait the last 30 seconds. And I'm not gonna take any chances. What I can do is close the cover. Woo! That's the condensation from the top. You just pull the plug. This is magnetic, so it's a nice safety mechanism. If something happens, you can just yank it out. I am going to have all the snacks, especially these potatoes. I'm trying to pick the smaller pieces here. So I can make some room for the chicken. That's my excuse. All right, that's a big piece. Let's get the small ones first. And I'm only doing this because I had the leftover chicken. I had the leftover cornmeal and the batter. So these are nice and golden brown. I know some of these are cooked. And that's it. So with the oil, let me grab this. with the oil, I never ended up using this. I ended up using the tongs because I never grilled. But with the oil, I'm gonna let it cool, and then I'm gonna strain it and put it back in that jar. Because avocado oil, even though we're heating it to 375 Fahrenheit, the smoke point is 500, so I can actually use it quite a few times before it goes bad. Now, my number one job is to go outside and fix that propane tank, but I can't do that quite yet because I need to clean up outside. Let's take a look at our lunch. It's hard to see. We got our fried mushrooms here. Look at that. We have a couple of fried potatoes. The rest of the duck fat potatoes are actually in the oven. And then we have tiny, tiny, tiny little nugs of chicken. I'm gonna bring this inside and hop around. And all I can smell in the oven right now is the duck fat. Alright. Yeah, at least like I know. The nice thing about deep frying myself, and that's why I have a small fryer, is that I know what oil I'm using, right? I'm using a good, high quality oil like avocado. I am also limiting how much batter I use and what type of batter I use. And so what I have here is some homemade mayo left over in a jar. This is gonna be my spicy mayo. I have so this is Hot Ones, the classic. I don't know, like 8 dabs. No, 20. I put 20 dabs in there. The classic's all right. Dude, Los Calientes is where it's at. And then I have this. This is Kitchen Garden Farms Habanero Sriracha. I think they make this in. Do they make this in Massachusetts? It is in Massachusetts, so it's very local to me. But this tastes like a spicy pineapple. Oh, it's delicious. So I'm gonna add like a nice squirt or two of this. I hear my cat. I locked him in the bedroom, and he's just crying. He's itching to get out. Here's the Los Calientes. This is delicious. Like, it's unbelievable. I have to refrain myself from eating it because it's just so good. And so, like, the mayo that I make, I don't know if you were here the past stream, Lefko, when I made mayo, but I put a lot of garlic in my mayo, so this is gonna be like a spicy garlic mayo with the habanero and the classico. Let's grab a little bowl. I have a little ramekin here. So let's fill this up. If only they ship to Europe. Yeah, I know, right? So I'll show you the mayo. So the mayo in here is a little bit red. Okay. That's good. So a little bit of spicy mayo. Dip into our oyster mushrooms. Fried oyster mushrooms, but you know what I'm gonna do with these oyster mushrooms? I have a bun. I'm gonna toast this bun and make myself a po' boy, but oyster mushroom po' boy. So basically, the oyster mushrooms are gonna go inside. I'm gonna add a little bit of vegan cheese, the spicy chipotle mayo, and I'm gonna add a little bit of guacamole to that, and that will be my lunch. But I'm gonna try these. Let's try a chicken. Actually, should be okay. Oh yeah, it's over battered. They do. Are you gonna get some? You should. It is so worth it. I mean, it's pricey, but it tastes so good. I'm actually gonna put some of the Los Calientes in here too. I love the flavor of this mayo with the habanero. Habanero, yeah, adds to the heat. There we go. Spicy. I'm gonna have another potato. Dip it in. I mean, because my mayo is natural, and so are the sauces, it doesn't really take up the flavor. So it's not a very red spicy mayo. It's the shipping that's going to kill you. Yes, that's what I bought. I bought the classic Caliente and Last Dab for $40, and it's worth it. So for our Yankee swap or White Elephant Christmas swap, I gave away the Last Dab and the classic because I figured that the Last Dab was too spicy for some people. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, text my wife. What do I need? So I got some vegan cheese here. I mean, first of all, Hot Ones is a great show. It's such a great, unique show. I mean, and they make a great product, right? I mean, like, the reason why I ended up buying it was because a lot of the actors were like, "Oh, this is great. What is it?" And Sean would be like, "Oh, this is our own." Like, "Oh, this is phenomenal." So that's why I ended up getting it. So I'm making my sandwich. I got well, actually, these are hot dog buns because my daughter eats hot dogs. Chicken hot dogs. I'm actually gonna put my guacamole on the inside first. So give me a second here. This also gives me time because my potatoes are going to be flipped one more time, and they'll be cooked for 15 more minutes. I wonder why. It's like, why isn't this guacamole spreading? And it's because it's a big chunk of avocado. Okay. I got my guacamole down. Got my cheese. Oh, my hair, buddy, but guess what? You're not coming out. I think I can only fit like 3 mushrooms in here. Maybe 4. We'll try 4. I mean, this mayo too, you can see like the peppers and the red bits, so it's gonna be fantastic. Okay. This is a pretty bad shot because I am using a hot dog bun and not a regular, like, hoagie roll, but cheese, guacamole, our fried oyster mushrooms, and our spicy mayo. I'm not going to eat this on camera. I'm going to step aside because I really don't like eating on camera. But before I do, I'm going to let that rest. Let's take out our potatoes. They're getting browner. And you know they need to be flipped one more time to get that ultimate brown power. And similar to this, like I'm gonna take this duck fat, and I'm actually gonna be putting it in with the avocado oil, and that way, when next time I fry something, it's gonna have extra flavor. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put that oil in the fridge. So let me give you a shot. Oh, Bert. Oh yeah, you should watch that clip. Oh, Bert, you should watch that clip. Watch the clip and then come back. All right, Bert. So let me just show you the potatoes real quick. You can see they're starting to get golden brown. They're still sitting in duck fat. They got 15 more minutes to cook. But because I had some potatoes that wouldn't fit in the duck fat, I've already eaten some, so I'm gonna have them with my Sammy. My Sammy. So Bert, let me know when you come back, and I'll tell you what I made. Let me clean up my stovetop here because it's a little mess. It's a little mess. I also have pizza dough going. I didn't make the typical 3-day pizza dough because I was so busy. Friday and then Saturday, I was out doing the woodworking. And so by the time I reached today, I was like, oh no, I don't have enough time for my 3-day pizza dough, so I'm gonna make 2. Did Bert leave? Or did you not watch the clip? Oh, yeah. You can hear the crunch because that's the chicken. All right, so recap. Oyster, fried mushroom, oyster mushroom. My fried oyster mushroom po' boy has the guacamole, cheese, our fried oyster mushrooms, our spicy mayo. Let me take a bite. It's gonna be messy, so I'm gonna walk off stream. That is so good. And I don't even care that I'm not having duck fat potatoes because the mushrooms themselves are really good. So, I was preheating my grill, and I went down there, and I looked at the temperature. I'm like, oh, the temperature is still at 0, or you know, room temp, whatever. The gauge was at 0. So I hit the ignition button again, and the lid just lifted up, and this big blast of fire came out at me. It actually singed my arm hair. I mean, granted, I didn't have a lot of arm hair to begin with, but whoosh. No, the fire singed my arm hair and lifted the lid up, exploded. And it's like, holy crap, what just happened? So, I'm sorry, I usually never eat on stream, but this sandwich is so good that I can't help it. You know, I should add to this. So I made this last night too. I have a bowl, and there's one whole sliced red onion in here. But there's about 3 tablespoons of vinegar and a half a cup of olive oil, and it's been sitting in here overnight with some oregano. So they're like marinated onions. I should put some of these in my sandwich. Yeah, that would be awesome. Grab like one more piece. It's very oily. I should get a panini grill? Nah. I actually don't eat a lot of sandwiches. I don't eat a lot of sandwiches, so like I usually don't warrant getting a panini grill. That's even better than before. Holy crap. The other problem is that vegan cheese doesn't melt as well as regular cheese. So there's no real reason for it to happen. All right, I just realized what the time was. Oh, you back? So Ibra, I made this sandwich. It has some guacamole, some vegan cheese, our oyster mushrooms, our fried oyster mushrooms, some marinated onions, and I made a spicy mayo. And yeah, I've been eating it off stream. It is convenient, but we try not to eat bread that much, or potatoes actually. The potatoes were supposed to be for the fish stew. I never put them in because I wanted to make the duck fat potatoes, which had 9 minutes left on them. What I was going to say was, I just saw what the time was, so I have to finish eating, and then I go outside and try and fix the grill and see if I can resurrect it and see if it doesn't explode. So, on that note, if you want to hear the crunch, well, this is a crunch of the chicken, but you can hear the crunch. Cornmeal is excellent for the texture and the flavor. And really, that's what we're going for. Oh, I ate the mushroom part. I'm snacking another mushroom because I ate it from my sandwich, and there's nothing left but bread and this bite bread, cheese, and onion. I have to hit the ignition. How else am I supposed to light the grill? My nose is running because it's a little spicy. You're always supposed to turn the gas on first. I usually wait like 2 seconds, and then I hit the ignition. And it lit up initially. And that's why I was like, oh, let me go clean the grill because this should be hot by now. But it never got hot. I think I just ran out of gas. Or the wind knocked out the flame. Oh, what do you got, Muska?
Now, usually I don't do this, but
Oh, Jesus.
go ahead on, break them off with a little previews of the remix. Now, I'm not trying to be...
So you're saying turn on the gas for the grill first, then open the propane tank, and then ignite. Oh, I'm sure there's gas after the explosion. But right now, I'm not going to light it, right? I'm going to open the top, and I have to disconnect my propane tank that's in there now. And then I'm going to replace it with my new propane tank. So the top of it will be open, and so anything else that's left inside should be gone. So, but I'm going to go do that now, because I'm done, and I need to finish this lunch. I got 6 minutes left of my potatoes. Let me just take them out. I'll show you guys the color. Stand back. Look at that. Golden brown. I mean, these guys are pretty much done because they're hard. They're very, very, I'm going to say, I wish I would have put the cornmeal on them when they were still wet, but it'll taste just as good. The lighter the better, right? Pour gasoline later. Oh, I should. I got tons of gasoline in my garage. I got like 3 gallons worth. That's what I'll do. I'll burn the grill out, and that way, like, it'll be easy, really, really easy to clean before I cook my food. All right, I'm done, guys. You know what? I'll wait the last 5 minutes. Actually, let's take some of these out because some of the small ones look like they could burn in 5 minutes. Let's grab a small plate. Actually, I have a small ramekin right here. So let's take out the really small ones. 1, 2, 3. You can hear them as they drop in here. I mean, these suckers are hard. All right, that's good enough. I don't want to eat too many potatoes. I'll pop these in the oven. I'm actually going to shut off the heat in the oven because it will cook for the last 5 minutes. Hit these with a dash of salt because I know the potatoes weren't salty enough at all. Toss in some sea salt. I don't know if these cool. Well, I guess I'll pick one up. Keep it too hot, right? Famous last words. So they're nice, they're golden brown. Let's cut one in half. Ooh, okay. You can hear the crisp. It's small, but it's nice and soft in the middle. Let's give it a try. So it's really crispy. Even though it's not like burnt, that golden brown color is still really crispy. You can taste the duck fat right away. But it's not salty enough. And it needs way more salt than what I just added to it. Well, what's wrong, Lepka? You want some crispy duck fat potatoes? All right, let's put another one. Ooh. Yeah, they're a little hard to cut because they're crispy. Zoom in and see that it's white. Let's block the light. It's white in the middle. And it's crispy on the outside. And you guys can probably hear the crunch. And actually, you hear the crunch, like, and that's cut in half, right? Let me cut one of the fried potatoes. This is a fried potato. I'm gonna take a bite. And you don't get that same crisp as you do with the duck fat potatoes. So duck fat's definitely the way to go. Don't fry your potatoes. Just put them in the oven with duck fat, flip them up a couple times. Perfect. All right, these are coming out. All right, guys, that's it. I'm done for today. thank you so much for stopping by and watching me make some fried oyster mushrooms and some duck fat potatoes. It should be pretty straightforward. Cornmeal, some water, some salt, some garlic and onion powder for the wet batter, cornmeal and Old Bay seasoning, which is basically like paprika, celery salt, onion, garlic, pepper, as the dry batter. You fry it quickly for 3 minutes, and that's it. Have a good one, guys. I won't be on for a little while. I definitely won't be on tomorrow because I have to take my daughter to swim, and typically my wife takes her, and then I get to do a short little cooking stream. But tomorrow, since I have to take her, I won't be on. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Maybe 2 Mondays from now. All right, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.